Welcome to the Bad Movie Night podcast, covering the worst movies you've never seen. We hope you enjoy listening to Bad Movie Night podcast.
Welcome back to the Bad Movie Night podcast. My name is Chris, and tonight we have checked out the 1959 classic Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Can your heart stand the shocking facts about grave robbers from outer space?
Did you make your own music for this film, Chris?
Aaron, for this film, I did not make my own music. See?
That sounded very much like a Chris Rupert.
That's what it sounds like when I take a shit. It's just... if Christopher Nolan's soundtracks played when I took a shit, that would be very cinematic, is all I'm saying. Guys, we're back. We're back. Almost a full crew. Lindsay couldn't quite cut it. Still coming up with random excuses to not show up to the show. We are on board for the excuses.
6 o'clock for her.
That's a little early.
6 o'clock on a Christmas morning.
6 o'clock on a Christmas morning.
It wasn't too early for Dream Theater, Spiv.
That's right.
Do we need the Dream Theater?
There's a cool drummy over there. It's important going through that song. But yeah.
I mean, that was back when Dream Theater was pretty good.
They are.
It was a very long time ago.
A very
It's about
long
20
time ago.
Back in the
30
day.
years ago.
Back in the day, back in my
before
day,
global
Dream
warming.
Theater was the finest of theaters.
Dream Theaters from the witness accounts.
The way these
Sworn
guys all hold their
testimony.
guns back in the day, it's like...
The one just
Dude,
kept
he,
like poking his head,
I know.
scratching his nose with it.
We need direction, all right?
That's what I would do, too. Guys,
We're going to talk about that.
this is a Rebecca birthday pick. Happy birthday, Rebecca.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Birthday.
What does it feel like to be the age you are now?
40. I don't know. I'm
I'll tell
That's
you.
a
falling
big-
apart already.
That's
Yeah,
a big,
falling apart.
That's what happens.
big birthday.
Yeah.
What did it feel like? Did you have a
I don't
mental
know. Like,
breakdown
I
or
don't,
anything?
I don't think it's really like sunk in that I'm actually 40.
Like, I can convince
Like, it's the
myself.
same, my mom just turned 70, and I'm like, oh my God, that's
Wow.
Yeah.
Good
That
genes,
sounds
man.
awful.
old.
I can convince myself.
be
I'm like,
dead.
when you're like in your 30s, you're like, oh, you're still young. You're in your fucking 30s.
Yeah.
But when you hit 40, like, that's old.
It's a wake-up call,
That's an
folks.
old
Well, my
person's
students
age.
were like, how old are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm 40. And they're like, oh. I'm like, oh, no.
Like, that's depressing.
I didn't know people could live that
Don't
long.
say that.
Aaron and Spiv, when you guys turned 40, what did it feel like?
40 was no big deal.
Really?
40, I got COVID, so yeah. That was.
Everybody
You
gets
think it's
Wow.
correlated in some way?
I don't know, maybe.
I'm finding 43 that I'm having a hard time giving a shit about anything.
Oh,
So I don't know if that's an
definitely,
indicator.
No, that's
but
just
did
like-
you
It's a
guys?
sign of
That's just
maturity.
Facebook, man.
Did you guys not have like a midlife crisis where you're like, well, I guess I never accomplished anything in my life? And
Yeah,
it
I had that at
always-
like 14. I've been living with that my whole life, Chris.
I don't know. I bought the yellow sports car already, so that was.
There you go.
Man,
The thing that really makes me feel old, guys, is that my mom's turning 80 next year.
Jesus.
Holy shit. And still smoking after all these years.
Well, you would know.
I used to get my mom that birthday
She
card
saw
every
this
year.
movie in the theater.
It was cigars, and you opened it up and said, still smoking after all these years.
You
I
knew.
buy my mom
She
that birthday
knew.
card for a
Bill
few
Bela
years in a row.
Lugosi.
He was born in 1882.
Was he really? Wow.
I don't even know if America existed back then.
It was falling apart.
We used to have democracy back then. I don't know. Do we have it anymore? They said we don't. I don't know if
I don't
we do
know.
anymore. I don't know what's going on.
No.
We'll
Who
see.
knows?
Hence why I don't give a shit. About it.
TBD.
This is not a political podcast.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
You know what I learned though?
Yeah.
That the whole like winner take all states popular vote choosing the president thing is a fairly recent thing. Like it was like the late 19th century that happened. Before that, like state legislatures picked the electors. Which makes a whole lot more sense in my opinion. But
You are allowed to have your opinion.
What in the world did I just say?
I know. I'm just saying. This is the pre-show.
We're actually.
It is not the pre-show.
No, this is not. We haven't had time.
We are
banter.
That
section.
ended 19 minutes ago.
While adjacent to the non-pre-show that we're currently having, adjacent to the banter section, the scheduling for the podcast has been quite a mess recently. My kids' dance classes and life throws it into disarray. That'll change, I think, soon. So we'll try and get back to a normal time.
Gotta get that nutcracker.
After
finished
Christmas, right?
Yeah, that nutcracker thing is fucking the end of the.
Well, then what's
dutifully
next?
answered the survey,
Soccer,
and we
gymnastics?
didn't go with the answers.
Oh, did we? I didn't even. I didn't answer the survey.
Yeah, we didn't go with it at all.
The
Yeah, I
survey
did the
was about
survey.
me, and I
Dude,
didn't even.
I took so
It
much
was
time saying
just
that
to
up.
check off boxes.
Yeah.
That is the most bad movie night thing to happen.
All right, we're going to see what works for everyone and do none of that.
We're just gonna keep it the same.
AJ
pretty
picked,
accurate.
AJ picked any time.
This
like
is
any
not
day,
yeah.
anytime.
okay.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
one,
anytime.
I gracefully said, "Look, my
5 a.m.
schedule's
we'll do it.
fucking everything up. I'm just gonna bow out, let you
Yeah, but
guys
it's
do
not
it,
the
so
same
it
without
works
you.
for everyone." And then no one fucking showed up ever.
I
I've
was
been
there.
sick for like 6 weeks,
Yeah,
Well,
Spit
and
was-
you've
Spit
had
was sick,
dinner
hardcore.
plans
and then we had friends over for dinner last night. That's our once a
because
month
that's your
Wednesday
only
thing.
free night.
Once a month has been every week.
That's I've been sick.
Dude, he's
Aaron
been
knows.
sick. Yeah,
No, there is a
yeah.
sickness going. Was it a stomach
Yeah.
thing or
No,
sinus
no,
thing?
it's a chest.
He sounded
cough
awful.
You didn't have the COVID?
It was not the COVID. No,
Was it the flu? The flu's going around now.
It's not the flu.
Wow.
I had pneumonia.
What?
That's fun. I got tested for
yeah.
pneumonia.
Oh,
Like
that's cool.
X-rays and everything.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Jesus, dude.
Jeez.
Yeah,
How's your,
Okay.
recovery? How's your recovery been
during
on that?
parent-teacher conferences.
Oh,
Of course.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
yeah.
It's
How
always the
convenient.
worst possible time.
I can't
Well,
talk to you.
it kept them moving along.
I bet.
Dude, kids, when you go out to places and they're sick and they just cough and hack up shit, I was like, this is why I don't like kids. Like
I
other
like
people
when they sneeze in your face.
Yeah, I was just like, ugh. But anyways,
What are we talking about? What the fuck are we doing here?
so we're done with the pre-show. We're done with the banter section.
There's a
Lots of-
pre-show now?
Well,
All
there's
right, AJ.
supposed to be a pre-show, but we're here
Oh.
tonight to talk about Plan 9 from Outer Space. This was Rebecca's pick. Before we get into the premise, well, Rebecca, do you want to fill us in of why you chose this movie for your birthday choice?
I don't really know. I was just flipping around Tubi, Googling some recommendations, and thought it would be fun to do one from the 50s or something.
Yeah, we don't do a lot of old movies.
Yeah.
We do not. Okay, fair enough. AJ, can you tell me what Plan 9 from Outer Space is about?
Prepare for the strangest sci-fi saga ever told. Aliens descend on Earth with a sinister plan to resurrect the dead,
We've come from the galaxy.
unleashing terror upon unsuspecting worlds.
We are going to unleash vampires and
Zombies,
werewolves.
flying saucers, and a desperate fight for humanity's survival. Find out this and more in the cult classic from visionary director Ed Wood. Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Don't look at my underpants.
It's so bad they couldn't afford to put color in it.
Now with color.
They probably did do a color.
They punched
version
that guy so hard
They
he turned
did.
green.
They
I
colorized
watched
it
the
in,
color
like,
version on
2006.
Tubi.
Yeah, me too.
There's like 8 versions
Wait,
on
there's a
Tubi.
color version on Tubi?
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope none of you watched the
Frickin' frick! I watched it on
You
YouTube
guys,
in
you watched
36 pixels.
Dude, there's
Now
like
watch
10
the
versions on
2015
Tubi.
version now.
Yeah.
There's a remix version too, so be careful.
Oh my
It's
god!
like a
we probably all
re-edit.
watched different
Remix.
versions of the goddamn
Yeah.
movie.
I went to
Actually,
dance
I
party
watched
mix.
just the regular colored
Nice.
Yeah,
version.
regular
All
color.
right.
Yeah, it came out in 06, I think. They did the color.
Okay, I did not
Yeah.
watch any of that. All right, I'm having a little mini heart attack.
You're a little
walking it
black
off.
and white, Chris.
It's
I
better
have
in
to
black and white anyways, yeah.
I watched it in black and white.
Yeah, we can tell from your camera.
And I watched it
Yeah.
colorized, so yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into the history hole where we'll get Aaron frantically researching on IMDb stuff to say. Here,
Damn straight.
go. Oh my god.
From the earth to the moon.
It's Detective. What's his face?
Clay.
That's really good, Aaron.
Are you just gonna do that for 10 minutes? No?
Actually, it might be better than most history holes.
Why not?
All right, Plan 9 from Outer
my
Space
Your case
was released
Tell you, man. Still getting over it.
in March 15th, 1957 at the Carlton Theater in Los Angeles. You know what other movies came out in 1957, Chris?
The one your mom made. Oh shit! Oh, wait, that's my mom too.
Wait, that's your mom.
Oh shit!
Your mom was like 2 back.
Self-burn.
Whatever, guys. I didn't need to meet. It was a sarcastic joke. All right, don't look too much into it.
All right, Bridge on the River Kwai was the number one grossing film of that year, which made about 15 million back then.
Wow,
Which,
that's
adjusted for inflation,
2 billion now.
it's 168 million.
Quadrillion, trillion.
It's lots of money.
Ticket prices were a lot lower back then.
Ticket prices were lower too.
That's fair.
We also had the 10 Commandments released that year.
Oh, my.
Let my people go.
Let my
Oh,
people.
I'll be right back. Keep going.
We got Old Yeller.
Oh yeah. That poor dog.
Poor doggy.
Disney.
Yep. Island in the Sun. A Farewell to Arms. I don't know that one.
In the sun.
I know the song from Weezer.
Gunfight at the OK Corral and Don't Go Near the Water.
This is my sweet ass Moses action figure.
Still have the motion action.
Is that what you wanted to get?
Why do you have a
What's the value on that?
I don't know, but you said let my people go, and I've been hanging on to this bad boy for years. It doesn't specifically say.
I bet it's a good conversation piece.
For 100 years is a long. I don't know. Moses was a phenomenal leader, and God used him to give the Israelites their very first laws.
I could see the girls coming over your apartment like, why do you have a Moses figure in there?
I bought it at Goodwill for $7.
That was in your old studio for the longest time. This garage for the longest time, right?
Yeah, this is
Moses has seen some shit.
This is the shit that's wrong with me that I thought, well, I should buy this. He does have a cool cane in here. I'm afraid.
That's
to
pretty
open it.
cool.
This is
Is it
probably worth a
magical?
lot of
Don't
money.
open
Right?
that. You
I'm
got
not
that
sure.
stinking box.
Yeah, put that on eBay. See what it goes for.
Buy it now, $2.
I mean, not too many people have a Moses action figure. Is all I'm saying.
You
is a
might be
true statement.
surprised.
Oh, it's on eBay for $34.80.
Oh,
Jesus.
shit.
There you go.
I bought it for $7. Suck
Time to
on
sell
that,
Moses.
motherfuckers.
That's an investment.
That's a
2005
five
Messenger
times
of the
its-
Faith.
People are going to be parting their wallets to give you $34.
2 people have it in their carts right now.
Wow. There you go. One of them's
go.
Chris.
I got a 5 times return on this bitch right now, and I bought it only a few years ago.
Oh,
Wait 10
is
more
yours
years.
11 inches or 12 inches? 'Cause
Oh,
that
shit.
makes a difference.
It's a personal question.
Yeah, that's not for this podcast.
How about 4? 4 or 5.
It's cold out, okay?
I was in the pool. Yeah.
I was near a pool.
Dude, I have no idea. I'd have to. I'll be right back.
Because the 12-inch one is $54.
Let's go get some measuring tape here. We're going to figure this out.
I'm going to check the serial number.
Oh, my goodness.
Is this an authentic Messengers of the Faith?
Signed by Cameron,
My Moses himself.
Kirk Cameron.
Kirk Cameron.
The Left Behind gift pack.
Oh, my God.
It's just empty.
Let's see. Top of the feet to the head. Is that how you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the base of the shaft to the
So it's around 11 3/4.
I would say that's
That
probably
sounds
the
like
12
12.
inch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, shit. We got the good stuff going on, boys and girls. It's definitely over
4
11.
big ones.
I mean, it's definitely over 11.
yeah, generally
back
you
the
round-
burning
you
bush
round
and then,
things.
yeah.
That's
You parted the seas of your wallet. Oh, shit.
Aaron already made that joke.
yeah, I made that joke.
Oh, did you? Oh,
Yeah.
well, I wasn't probably here for it. Okay,
Did
whatever.
you part the bush when you did the measurements, Chris? The burning bush? All right, so yeah, this movie. Good lord, what are we talking about? It was written and directed by Ed Wood Jr.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're gonna get it to him probably during the game time, so I don't want to go.
Nope.
Oh no.
Oh, we're
Okay.
not. Let's talk Ed Wood.
All right.
Glenn or Glenda? That was
Did
one of
anyone
his-
ever see
Yep.
the Ed Wood Tim Burton movie? I never watched it.
did.
Oh my
I did,
god,
and I
it's
hated it.
great.
Is
You
it
didn't like
good?
it?
Wait, should I watch that? I never watched it.
I thought it was. Yeah, I thought this was one of his best.
It was in the
movies.
style of Ed Wood, I think.
Okay. I know it's Johnny Depp playing Ed Wood, right?
Yeah. But it shows you like how crazy and how good he was at convincing these like actors to be in his shitty movies. Like he would not leave them alone. It's like it's pretty great.
So that's what
Especially
we
Bela
need to do?
Lugosi. He would not leave Bela Lugosi alone. He'd show up at his house all the time.
Come on.
Well, I mean,
They basically became friends, and that's
Bella
why he got
Lugosi
into
was
it.
in this posthumously. Is that how you say that?
Yes.
He died.
No, he wasn't in it posthumously.
Well, no,
that
but
would mean
the
he was.
They used
Dead.
his corpse. They
No.
buried him.
It was footage from another
Another
project
movie,
that
Yeah.
and they used it after he was
Oh,
dead.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
'cause
why
he
it looked
died.
completely different than.
And then the scenes that they made
Makes
after he
sense.
was dead was a guy like this.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
he died in
Not Bella.
56, August 16th, 1956.
He died in this movie.
He's
Yeah.
so lucky.
He died, and they're like, well, we still got to move, must go on. So we carted his corpse around. I don't know. Yeah, he was born in 1882. That's crazy.
Insane.
Wow.
Yeah. This was a long time ago, 1957. This is a unique time in film. Obviously, low budget film. I mean, what is Ed Wood known for, really? I know
He's known for
cross dressing
A lot
and
of
stuff. He's known for his kind of exploitation movies that he got into later in his career.
That's the route me and AJ are on.
He was a,
We made transient. It
I
didn't
think he
work
was a
out. Now we're on the
Marine.
exploitation.
I think he was a Marine too, right? He was in
Let me pull
World War
up
II.
Wikipedia for you, buddy.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and do that? Yeah, he enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps in May of
There
1943.
you go.
Wow.
He claims he wore women's underwear underneath his uniform in battle and wasn't worried about dying, but was worried about being injured and people discovering he was wearing women's underwear.
Makes
Why
sense.
worry about that? See, I don't care. I'm
Dude,
David Carradine.
1943.
I'll go out.
Things are different then.
It doesn't matter. You're fucking
Yeah.
dead. I'm gonna try and plan it so it's very weird for someone
Yeah?
to find me. Yeah.
What's that gonna look like?
I don't know yet, but I got time. I got at least a year or two,
a
probably.
belt and a closet.
Yeah, I could see you going that route.
Yeah. Why not, right?
Yeah.
Me and Moses. He's now like looking at me. It's kind of creepy, actually.
You gonna sell me?
Yeah, so Bela Lugosi died before the film was finished. This film played for years in relative obscurity on late night TV until 1980 when critic Michael Medved dubbed it as the worst film ever made, which is, he has not seen Witchcraft, obviously. Almost instantly, it became a cult classic. There's a Riff Tracks version of it. Did Mystery Science Theater do it as well? I don't remember. I think they might
so.
have. Yeah.
Rebecca,
Yeah.
have you ever seen The Room?
Tommy Wiseau?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think so.
I've never
See-
seen it.
See, that might have
I don't
been.
think so.
Yeah, because I know Plan 9 from Outer Space is commonly referred to as like a horrible, bad movie or whatever, or a bad movie you should see. But The Room is like the number one in there. And that's why I thought that would be way more up your alley, I would think, because it's weird romance.
It is a weird
No.
movie.
It's funny.
Yeah. The actress who played Vampira had to do her makeup at home and then take the bus to the studio for filming.
God.
That's amazing.
So that's pretty amazing. I love it.
Nails bothered me the most.
Well, the colorized version, yeah, they were like bright pink.
Yeah,
or
apparently they were
purple, right?
black in
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah, they were
They colored
weird.
them red.
They colored stuff's weird. The aliens kind of vacillated between mostly human skin tone and like green at times, or yeah, the colorizing process was interesting.
It makes if you're making a low budget movie, HMU hair and makeup people, they're one of the most expensive people to hire.
I bet.
Why? You got Spiv. He doesn't need hair or makeup. Look at him.
Well, no, but
Dashing by default.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it's a person to cut if you can.
he's DVD.
if you can.
DVD.
You're gonna cut Spiv?
I don't know
hair
why
and
you're.
makeup.
Don't cut my hair.
No, Spiv's beta. I'm VHS.
I am Sigma Riz, guys. Come on.
I'm Laserdisc.
No cap.
No cap.
There is a 2015 remake of Plan 9 by John Johnson. Ed Wood is also credited with this. It stars Brian Krause, Sarah Eshelman, and Mr. Lobo.
Oh, Mr. Lobo.
Mr. Lobo.
I know Mr. Lobo.
It looks very different. Obviously, much more modern. It looks pretty bad, though. Might be worth checking out. I don't know.
It's a weird story.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything really about like a budget for this film or anything. Go ahead, Rebecca.
I didn't understand all of this, but we'll get into it.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it.
Yep.
All right, Aaron. You about good?
I think.
It really went out on a high note there.
Strong note, yeah.
Very much so.
I think that's about everything. Let me frantically scroll a little more and see if I can. Yeah, no, that's about it.
I learned that Vampira's waist during this was 17 inches.
That's
ridiculous.
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
almost the size of my fucking Moses.
It's
doll.
your Moses.
All
Got
right,
a Moses waist.
let's move on. Let's talk about Plan 9 from Outer Space. Here we go.
Okay.
Do it.
Patreon, $2 a month. Patreon. Patreon. Patreon, $2 a month. Patreon. Join us for some fun stuff. Patreon.
Man,
I
I really gotta start check.
month.
I do. You have to remind me to check Patreon.
Dude, what the?
Why? Because
I don't know, because Bill Green joined Patreon and then he canceled because I never sent him anything.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
what
about
the
right.
That's why I can't handle the Patreon. Somebody else needs to manage this shit.
This is why we have no
Cancel
viewers.
because he can't send him anything. Jesus
Well, I mean,
Christ,
there's a
man.
million
Never
things on
mind.
there.
Don't you
Are
get an
thinking-
email notification?
No, I don't
Like,
get anything because we don't have bad
Well,
dash
that's-
movie dash. We don't have our website anymore.
Why not? Where's the website?
Because I couldn't afford to.
I would have paid for it. I was paying for it.
Not doing that. I just can't. I
That's
let
three weeks
everything
ago.
cancel. Everything's canceled. We don't have any email. We don't have a website anymore. I just let it all cancel. All right.
Good.
So I don't get the emails.
Start
Oh,
fresh.
Jesus.
I guess this is officially the end then. Jesus
No,
Christ.
it's not the end. We're still limping along. All right.
Out of the ashes.
We're like
Limping
the-
along.
Like a
Phoenix.
phoenix we were.
Yeah.
Like an
rise.
11-inch Moses.
Send me
Well,
like an
we had
invite.
We
for
had the
Patreon,
website, but
I'll
no
watch
one
it.
left voicemails, so that was pointless, right? We need it then.
They did for a little bit.
The website was pretty cool.
Yeah, for like a week.
We need like a
And I don't
fancy
think we need a
website.
website. That's
No, websites
No.
are worthless.
No, it was cool if like people were gonna use voicemails, but it didn't really work out. That's fine. But now I don't have the email address either, so that kind of
Oh my
complicates.
God, Jesus, man.
What do you want from me?
I mean,
Alright.
I want you to stop giving us shit about not putting effort in when you're like, I deleted everything.
I didn't delete it. I just couldn't. I couldn't afford to keep paying for it. is
I
all.
told you I would do it. Jesus.
Dude, we
I'm
can
not
set
gonna
up the
keep asking.
website.
I'm not gonna ask people for money. It's not what I do.
I'm part
So
of the
let it
show.
cancel.
I don't mind contributing.
I offered to
Anyways.
give you money. It was silence.
I mean, between everyone here, we should have like the coolest fucking website on the planet. Like, that's the saddest thing. Like, we're capable of
Yes.
doing this very easily.
yeah. No, we don't
And
need
Rebecca's a
website. Websites
teacher.
are for
So, you know,
losers.
All right.
I don't know.
Well,
Dude,
All right, I
I
don't
was
know
we
what
saying-
all,
else-
have we all accepted the loss of the website and moved on?
No. I mean,
All
we
right.
don't need a website.
By next episode, I want you all to grieved and moved on. Okay.
I'm going to make a new website. It's going to be
Yeah,
the
make a new
shittiest
website.
thing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just
Guys,
make it like
Shittiest.
Craigslist.
I'm going to do like a Squarespace.
All right.
GeoCities page.
Yeah, you're not gonna make it. You know how much
I'm gonna use all
Squarespace
A-
websites are?
I'm
They're
going to
like-
use AI
like
like I did my
$300 or something.
Fatletics site that I
Yeah,
made.
Squarespace is like $25-$30 a month. It's fucking crazy expensive. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
using
these
AI.
discounts.
All right.
Wait, do
yeah,
I
just
still have
AI
that
everything.
domain?
All right,
Fatletics?
AJ.
Anyways.
All right, we're done. Hey, we're moving on. AJ, what did you think of Plan 9 from Outer Space?
I generally thought it was a lot of fun. I felt like when I started watching it, it's like, wow, this is like what bad movies are like back in the 50s, which is pretty funny. But the other thing is just like late 50s, so I didn't feel quite as bad for it feeling like it was like late 40s, early 50s, because it really feels that way. Like the sets are so shitty and like the direction's terrible and the acting and
You
people,
mean
some
they
people
weren't
just
in an
showing up.
airplane cockpit?
But it definitely has
my God.
those it definitely has those bad movie things that we like in an older form of a movie. So generally, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. I'm glad I got to see one of Ed Wood's movies finally.
All right, Aaron, what'd you think?
I think this movie is really fun. I can see why people shit all over it, but at the same time, I think there's a lot of creativity, a lot of ambition that went into making this. This is mid-50s sci-fi, and I think, at times it's really cheesy. It's very confusing because we've got vampires and zombies and spaceships and aliens, but at the end we get this diatribe about basically how humanity's shitty and should die off because we suck. And I can relate to that very much. So I love this movie. I have seen this before many, like high school. So I didn't really remember a lot, but I remember I enjoyed it way back then, and I still enjoy it now.
Rebecca.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. I definitely laughed at a whole bunch of different parts, and I'm not sure that they meant it to be funny, but just the way it was done was just so silly and ridiculous. Yeah, I had a good time watching it.
Spiff.
Yeah, I went into this. I'd always heard it was like the worst movie of all time, So I was expecting like a slog and like really bad, wooden acting and just all around terrible movie. But it wasn't that bad, guys. It was fun compared to the stuff we normally watch. This was like top tier cinema. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised there. It was a fun movie, and I hope we don't invent a way to explode photons, because that's not a good idea.
But they're made of atoms. Okay, there goes our. We probably did we know that back then? They were not made of atoms. They're subatomic particles.
Are photons made of atoms, Aaron?
No.
I don't believe they are.
No.
No, they're smaller than atoms.
Yes.
They're their own thing.
They're
They're a particle and a wave at the same time.
Right. Exactly.
It just blows my brain.
Nerd alert.
Nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have no mass. Massless particles.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing too.
Yeah.
I wish I could eat
This is not a
massless
science
particles.
podcast.
Yeah, and these radio waves consist of photons, really. So
This is turn, Aaron.
your Wi-Fi right now is invisible light beaming
It's
through your
shooting
brain,
photons
Chris.
in your
with
brain.
no,
This is not a political
no mass.
podcast.
Oh,
What does that even mean?
Exactly.
Moses.
All right,
Moses will
RFK
save him.
Jr.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, don't you mean Linda McMahon? Oh, yes.
This whole thing
Just
is
kidding,
terrifying.
I'm waiting for the
I
pillow
wouldn't do
guy.
that.
You said the pillow guy's
like-
getting over. Yeah, I
like
could
what's
see
it?
him. What would he
He's
be
gotta have
in
something.
charge of?
I'm going to be in
Mattress
charge of all the
sales?
cocaine.
Who are we talking about?
He's just the guy that picks up the McDonald's for
You
everybody.
won't need to
every
sleep
night.
because you'll have all the cocaine. Yeah. That
missed-
guy's crazy.
What happened?
My pillow guy.
The my pillow
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
They were wondering what role he was going to get.
Yeah.
What cabinet pick?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The interior.
That's where you keep pillows.
Wait.
Yeah.
The cabinet of sleep. I mean, his pillows are supposed to be nice, right?
I hear they're terrible.
Cabinet interior is probably just like
Oh,
a
really?
proctologist. Some random proctologist. He's the best doctor.
Oh yeah, well Dr. Oz got something too, right?
All right, who's next?
Yeah, he's gonna control
we gotta
CMS.
stop. We
He
gotta
is a
stop.
All
good
right,
surgeon.
Chris.
Yeah. Anyways,
Sorry.
Chris, what did you think of whatever we watched? Plan
What?
9.
Why? Thank you for asking, Spiv. I found
Plan
this,
B.
I found this outlawed. I found this movie to be, yeah. I mean, I think it's charming. The simplicity of things back then. Everybody speaks in more eloquent
Yes.
ways.
Yeah, that's
They all
right.
had like
Um,
the actor voice.
They all had the
Yeah,
radioactive voice.
That,
of
what's
that
that
time
called?
period.
That
Yeah.
You're speaking very clearly from
yeah.
the camera.
There's a name for that. I forget what
With
it's called.
articulation.
Articulating my asshole.
Mid-Atlantic, or I don't know. There's some
Yeah.
sort of
Atlantic.
It
term.
was like
that-
fake British kind of.
Yeah, so many of
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
actors are like that too. They have a lot of them have the same look too, like the chiseled jaw line. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and I mean, looking up the criticisms for this movie, it's like, oh well, the flying saucers are made from hubcaps, and you can see the
But
wires.
They look
and
cool as shit.
there's
That
some
was
funny lines.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That like, what is the famous line? I forget what it is. I wrote it down. The future or something. I don't remember, but there's like some silly lines in this movie that you're like, all right, yeah, this is funny. Definitely not the worst movie ever made. Honestly, it feels like a Star Trek kind of budget level where everything feels like a set and cheap. The reason I would say that this does compare to some modern day bad movies is that it's very serious in its attempt, but it's just shitting on its audience, meaning like, yeah, we're flying a plane. You're not fucking flying a plane. Don't you
I loved
They
their
had those
yokes.
pieces of scrap metal.
Yeah.
The guys probably sliced their hands to shit on this thing.
It reminded me of watching a play.
Yeah.
It was that
Like a
like
high school play.
flatness.
Yeah, like a stage.
Yeah, like
stage play.
okay, new
That's
scene,
fair.
but like very two-dimensional. We're not going any further than this.
Yeah, I mean the whole graveyard scene feels like
Oh, it was
Like there's no
high
depth
school,
to
right.
anything.
nah.
There's a level of inoffensiveness and innocence in this time period of movies and things like that, where, like I said, everything feels so simple. There's no grittiness or grime to anything. The actions of people, the violence, everything is very subdued. There is some misogyny, which that's not a problem. You
No, she
smack
was
a lady around.
hysterical, Chris.
But other than that, like everything is just so Leave It to Beaver-esque. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it's all like
Sure.
I don't know, childlike in like comparative to movies nowadays. Nowadays, you turn on the movie, if you're not seeing a gaping asshole, then you're probably you're not watching HBO because that's all they have on there now. You know what I mean? Like,
Vampira was probably like
yeah,
super
edgy.
risque for that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
she had some cleavage hanging out
True.
there.
Yeah. So, for me, I found this movie kind of boring, honestly, if I'm speaking honest.
Son of a bitch.
I mean, but, and we'll go through the plot as I recall it, but there is a moment even in this movie where they try to have some sort of commentary, social commentary message to the thing, even though it's very heavy-handed and really only comes in the one scene with a huge dialogue dump. But at least they had something they were trying to go for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It was
like,
kind of the standard 50s anti-nuclear
Right.
thing.
yeah. But compared to like a movie, this is what I'm saying. Like movies nowadays that are bad, some of them are just so low effort that it's like, this is not even bad. This is just like a waste of everybody's time. This is not that. While it's bad, it still felt like a lot of effort was put into this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just very low budget.
Very low budget. But even then, I was like, there was moments where I was like, that looks pretty good. The big guy, the hulking zombie like guy.
Detective guy, yeah.
Yeah, the
Detective
detective.
play, yeah.
He had times, I feel like, that's kind of a creepy visual, especially with the contact lenses and stuff he was using and the way he just moved. I was like, all right, that's pretty effective. If anything, I got like kind of vibes of Life Force, but Life Force is for me a way better movie. But there's like elements to maybe some of the storyline because you have like this vampires and zombies
Yeah.
and aliens.
Like a lot of mixing.
Kind of just a mishmash of shit in a way that I don't know if they fully explained well enough, but it was interesting. I mean, like if you were a kid at the time or somebody who's like looking for camp and just like you tell me, oh, this movie has zombies, vampires, and aliens, and blah blah. I'm like, all right, I'd probably give that a chance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can imagine like teenagers in the 50s going to see this
Yeah.
at a drive-in or something. Like
Right.
this is going to be an amazing experience for them. We're just jaded by our own experiences in the 2024.
Well, yeah,
time period.
2024.
I mean, like, putting this
So-
up against other 50s sci-fi movies, it's not that much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
that's
like
what I
early
was thinking,
60s
too.
stuff. You think of like
Yeah.
Red Planet and stuff like that.
Or
Vampire Planet.
the one with the giant ants. What is it? Them?
Oh, yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh,
And
man.
it's
Yeah.
all right there.
And that's what I mean. Like, I don't quite understand all like I saw it come up a bunch of times, like about the spaceships and and seeing the strings and stuff. But I'm like, I literally just watched what's that Macaulay Culkin movie where he's a kid and he fights the little gnome boy, Frodo. Fights Frodo. And they're like, you only one son, and she drops the son.
Oh, the good son.
The good son.
Oh, the good son.
Oh wow,
dude! When they fucking push the mom off the cliff in the good son, when Macaulay Culkin does that, she's literally hanging by a rope. Like you see it the whole time. Like they don't even try and hide that shit. And I'm like, nobody complains about that stuff now. Now you can CG out, but like, I don't know. It didn't seem like that big of a deal to me, I guess.
Well, and we notice it, but I don't feel like at the time people would have even seen.
Well, I mean,
string.
there were some movies that were visually impressive back in those times, right? Big Hollywood films that were. We talked about a few of them already, but yeah, for your like low budget sci-fi horror movies of the time, most of them looked like this.
Yeah.
I mean, none of them really looked amazing.
How would you feel if, because I think Ed Wood, from my understanding, just reading some of the Wikipedia and some stuff people have said, really, really hustled to get this movie done. Mm-hmm. How would you feel if like you did all this and then like people latch onto it and you have a legacy because people think it's bad?
Yeah, that would, yeah.
It would suck.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like that.
Some thinking.
Like that would be a harsh. I mean, like in some ways, you're like, wow, people actually watch this thing, and there is love for it. Not in the way I wanted, but at least something.
Yeah,
it has a legacy.
Yeah,
legacy. Is that better than no legacy?
Right.
I think so.
Okay, that's what I was, because this is commonly referred to as like the worst movie ever made.
Well, it's definitely not that.
I don't. Yeah.
Like, compare it to Suburban Sasquatch.
I just think this guy has a collection
Blood Fart Lake.
I think he has a style through all these movies, and they're all kind of the same from that era. He's just like an early film auteur who made like some pretty low-budget movies, but didn't let that get in the way of him making what he wanted to make, you know?
I mean, people forgave Star Trek, right? A lot of this didn't feel that different than a Star Trek episode.
It's got the same kind of preachiness, future
cheesy
looking. Yeah.
Or Star Wars Episode 1, you know?
Oh, what a terrible movie.
Star Wars Episode 1? Phantom Menace?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
It's such a bad movie. I watched
the Phantom Menace that bad? I haven't watched it in like a long time.
I still want to see the version with Jar Jar Binks edited out of it, because it's supposed to be really good.
But Darth Maul, doesn't everybody love Darth Maul? He's cool.
He's badass. He's the only reason why the people went to the movie.
Yeah. And then they killed him at the end. Oh,
yeah, but that song, what's that song called? Twin something?
Duel of the Fates.
Duel of Fates. That song was bad. Dude, I used to play Jedi Knight with Shane online, or we play LAN. And
that was a great game.
You had to we download the model, so I was Darth Maul, and you could play Duel of Fates in that level. It was badass.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I don't really remember the movie very much.
Yeah.
I think it was boring or something. I don't know.
It's just like the CGI is bad.
Okay.
Even for the time. Like you put it up against like Lord of the Rings, which came out like the same year.
Yeah, it was bad.
It looks like a cheap video game now. It's
really? It's that bad?
Yeah,
it's bad. It's like really shitty green screen.
I just remember hating how like everything lost the gritty look of the old movies. It just everything felt so polished and
even
futuristic comparatively.
Like total mirror.
Yeah. It didn't feel like Star Wars.
I mean, that's actually a good talking point in comparison to Plan 9 from Outer Space, insofar as a lot of Phantom Menace and a lot of new micro budget, low budget movies. Philip J. Cook, for example, utilizes green screens as replacements for all kinds of sets.
Sure.
So while this movie obviously doesn't do that, but the sets are super low budget, but that would be like the comp I would have for nowadays movies where you're making a movie in your garage kind of feel.
Yeah.
Where it's still pretty ambitious of a film. Philip Cook, for instance, you know what I mean? We're talking about like
he's very ambitious.
Super ambitious.
Right.
Those, I don't know, like I think most people would say those are bad movies, right? Because of that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't even give it a chance. And I don't know if that's where this movie kind of landed back in the day. But again, like talking about like Star Trek, like it doesn't seem that far off from what was being made back then. So I don't know.
I feel like
But Star Trek was a new phenomenon, really, right? I mean, I don't think that almost didn't survive its first season.
And you got to remember,
Star Trek was not popular in the 60s.
Right.
and you got to remember, making a movie in the 50s is really hard. You need film, you need cameras, you need people to know what they're doing. It's not easy. It's way, way harder than it is today.
So you named one thing that is different from making a movie nowadays.
Dude,
just
pull.
the
You can use your
cost of equipment,
smartphone
though,
to
yeah.
make a movie nowadays.
But you still need people.
You can go on the internet and learn how to do things yourself.
You can just have AI do it for
Yeah,
you.
exactly. You have tools. Editing. Could you imagine editing back then?
Oh, yeah.
No, they're cutting the film.
Real to
Literally
real.
cutting.
Well, fuck that up.
I
Oops,
hear
there goes that scene.
I hear what
Yeah.
you're saying, but also
you?
editing back then was much more linear.
We had to
editing
film
every-
more
It was
linear,
harder,
though,
so
too.
you
but
did fewer
Right.
cuts.
You got
and,
we say all that, but like audience expectations were so much lower too. So simpler editing was acceptable. Nowadays, like everything is the expectations are so high. So yes, the tools are more easily available, but also the audience
You have
is
to do more
so
with
much
them.
more critical of everything.
And because of the availability of technology, anyone can make movies now. It's just like music. It's so saturated.
entry is
So now you can make a great movie, Transient, and nobody will watch it because there's a million.
Have you
other
thought
movies.
about doing a transient B cut or something where you have vampires, zombies, and aliens?
Plan 9 from Transient Space.
Yeah.
Plan 9 from Transient Space? It features
Bella
hardcore
Lugosi.
sex and nudity, and then people will watch it.
You just throw in some file footage of Elvira.
You just got to intercut it with something really cool. Like, I don't know, like a Billie Eilish music video or something. And then put it online and people will watch it.
Yeah, Spiv, can you sing real breathy? Like,
I'm the transient guy.
from space.
I actually haven't thought about that, but that's a great genius idea. Genius idea.
Sold.
AJ,
Hey,
great idea.
that's how people get started. you know?
Let's start.
We got the
talking about
greatest ideas ever on this film.
what is the what exactly is happening in Plan 9 from Outer? Like I can tell you by the end.
So we start off
Fly a
with
plane.
the funeral for the old lady.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the old man is so distraught. And then
I'm finally
Goes
free.
he goes into traffic and kills himself. So now he's dead.
As you do.
That's just an excuse to use the footage of Lugosi.
Yeah.
And it's at his funeral that she has come back because the aliens are bringing people back to life.
The aliens are coming to Earth on
Yeah.
a regular basis.
Bring me back to life. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
coming to Earth on a regular basis, but Earth refuses to welcome them.
Yes.
Yes.
Every time they
The-
come, they just shoot at
There's
them with guns.
communications issues.
Yeah.
We try to
Yes.
communicate with them. We don't have the technology. They're not responding to our radio signals. Therefore, we're going to
They get
shoot
mad.
at
Real
them because
thing
we're
that would happen.
cavemen.
Right.
Yes.
So instead,
When in doubt, shoot at things.
so
Yeah,
instead
it's
the
the American way.
aliens
That's the
tried to
American way.
use-
If the aliens had guns. Oh, okay, sorry.
So instead, the aliens tried to communicate through undead people. I think that's what I got.
That's
Who don't
kind of what they're trying to
communicate.
do.
They probably thought the
It's a
aliens
weird
were stealing
choice.
all their jobs.
The aliens are making the frogs gay.
Oh, when
Sorry.
we do a mass deportation of aliens, then all the problems will
Oh,
be fixed.
god damn. We cannot refrain from...
It's not a political podcast.
Sorry. It's still
Sorry, it's
November,
just
okay.
Plan 9 from Outer Space.
It is.
makes
It is.
yeah.
So,
They've
Real
tried
life.
plans 1 through 8. They finally said, fuck it.
right.
They're
And
settling
bring
on
up the zombies.
Project 25,
The
2025.
the original title of the movie is Grave Robbers from Outer Space.
All right.
And that is Plan 9 to
That's true.
to resurrect dead people. Mm-hmm.
And it's the aliens plan 9.
people.
It's the aliens Plan 9.
they've
'cause they're
tried all
they're
the
from
other
outer
plans.
space.
We've tried
Yeah, try 'em
absolutely
all.
nothing, and we're all out of ideas. So let's get zombies.
Yeah.
When in doubt,
And then,
raise the dead.
yeah, hijinks ensue.
A lot of hijinks ensue for a long time, trying to kind of figure out what the people we are stuck with. Our characters are kind of unaware of the motivations of the aliens.
Yes. There's the pilot
It's
and
the
his wife
communications problem.
who
We don't
live
know.
next to the cemetery.
They seem
Yeah.
to see everything in that backyard.
There's all the police.
That's my main criticism of this storyline. It's such an epic, ambitious storyline of aliens coming to Earth and having this communication issue, and yet it's so focused in like this one dude's backyard next to the cemetery.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It just so happens that the one
that's a good
pilot
point.
that sees it
Yeah.
also happens to live next door to the cemetery
And
that
like,
it's happening.
and like three police officers are like involved. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
where's the national, like, where's the
Yeah.
War of the Worlds style? And that's maybe the real
Well, we
comparison.
get
that
a little
this
bit of
movie
that in the
is not
desert.
you
living
have a
up to.
little bit of military stuff in there.
True, but not to like.
Blow up that fucking desert, Timmy.
We get the scenes of the military firing at the
yeah.
spaceships. That
Right,
was
yeah.
kind of
Yes.
cheesy and
The
bad.
file
But
footage. Yeah.
Not at all related to the movie.
God damn it, but it's perfect. It fits perfectly. I love that shit. It's so stupid.
I mean, I remember watching War of the Worlds and thinking that was actually pretty well done. A lot of that.
The original?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great
And that was
for
like,
the time.
what was that? That was probably,
Similar
60s?
time period.
It was similar time period,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was 50s. Yeah.
was it?
Worlds.
I don't know.
Hold on.
Yeah, fine when that movie came out, but I remember like that being pretty good. I mean, if that's the like what the expectation of the time was, then sure, this doesn't live up to that. But either way, back to the
53.
storyline. Oh,
53. Yeah.
53.
But this one, I
Damn.
mean, it's low budget. You know, War of
Yeah,
the
it's
Worlds
very low
was
budget.
not low budget.
all right.
Yeah.
So the aliens are coming to Earth. It's revealed in a long diatribe or monologue, I should say, from the alien. Who, by the way, once you enter their spaceship, it is just curtains inside. And a table. They do
That's
have a little
awesome.
window at times and a door.
They have a
Depending
table
on which
with
set.
like a
There's some
electric
scientific
thing.
equipment.
yeah.
You basically have the graveyard, the alien spaceship, and the guy's backyard, and then some random stock footage of driving at daytime while it's nighttime in the actual
Yeah.
scenes.
Well, that's
I
throughout
wrote
the
that
movie,
down.
though.
The
Well, yeah.
the night and day back and forth in this movie was
That's-
just
Something.
Yeah. They thought like, wow, this is all black and white. People won't be able to tell the difference between night and day.
Pretty funny.
But it is finally revealed by the alien overlords that they are eons development past where we are. Billions of years further evolved than humans. Even though they look exactly like humans,
It's like the difference between
Yeah.
me and Spiv.
they still use ray guns.
Yeah.
They basically,
I'm the caveman. He's the fully developed alien.
which to me I was already like, all right, if you're like, why are you old? Like if you would defy death, like you would that long, like you would solve so many issues. But I
well,
guess
maybe
not.
they've come full circle and said, you know what?
we embrace it.
Having a finite period of time to spend in the universe, it makes you embrace it more.
Nobody would embrace that. Nobody wants to die, Aaron.
I want to die.
No, you don't. Not really.
I mean, I kind of do eventually, right? I
mean,
feel like
I
eventually
don't
I'm
know.
going to be like,
Maybe-
I've had enough of
Eventually,
this.
Yeah, I don't want to live too long.
Right.
Well, either way, like
Unless I'm doing cool. Like, am I traveling to other dimensions or like
That'd be
other
Another dimension.
galaxies and seeing some cool
Another
shit?
dimension.
Yeah.
in
okay,
theory,
and
if
I'm
you're
healthy.
living, if you're
I'm
living
healthy?
eternally, then yeah, of course you would.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But based on what we know so
Current.
far and current abilities, like it'd be a really long time before anything cool is going to happen if we survive at all. So why do I want to stick around for that?
So the aliens have come because they have noticed that humans have used nuclear technology recently, and they are
They're
concerned
the atom.
about the development of humans harnessing such powers, leading to them possibly creating, I forget exactly the wording, but
Splitting photons, creating sun,
Solaritum or something. Right?
yeah.
yeah, and he lays this out in like a thing where he's like, if you covered the sun in gasoline and then
It's got a
lit the-
nice metaphor.
lit the
yeah.
gasoline line and it like spread to the sun and it would lead out everywhere and it destroy the whole universe. And they're worried about humanity developing this technology and eventually destroying the whole universe. They've
Right.
come
That is
in
true.
good intentions to communicate with humans, but we are in our ways just immediately attacking them.
They said we come in peace, and we said you're gonna go in pieces.
And so we end it by lighting that motherfucking spaceship on fire
Yes, we do.
That's right.
and not learning a goddamn single lesson. Except
So is
for
that the
blowing
message of the
everything up.
movie?
Except for at the very end, the guy delivering the narrator says, "I laugh at outer space" or something like that. All right.
I mean, it feels pretty realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, if
On the
anything,
nose.
this is the problem nowadays. If aliens came and there was footage of aliens, people would be like, "They're not actually aliens. They're fucking
It's a deep fake.
deep fakes."
Yeah.
And
They're lizard people from the planet Gonorrhea, which is controlled by the liberals.
and then you would never be able to get some sort of consensus.
mainstream media
so-
wants you to think.
The mainstream media wants you to think this, yeah. They're simultaneously in control and not in control of anything.
Yeah, but what about Hunter's laptop?
Damn
It's
it.
not a political podcast.
We are failing miserably at that.
Not a political podcast.
Maybe Plan 9 is a political movie, guys.
It is a political movie.
I mean,
It definitely is.
It definitely had a message there, which I did appreciate. That's what I mean. Like, I feel like a real film, for the most part, definitely tries to have some sort of message it's conveying to its
Most of the film does not have a message, just random bits of bullshit.
It
But then
definitely
it's like, wait a minute.
Trying to
we have to,
shoehorn that message
Right.
in there.
we have to think of your audience too, you know? Were they ready for that like heavy speech as the tone of the movie?
I don't know, but I did
Yeah.
think that was interesting. If that had been portrayed throughout the rest of the film, it could have led to a way more interesting movie.
A more fulfilling conclusion.
Yeah, a more fulfilling conclusion. But overall, whatever. It is what it is. So that's all I have to say about Plan 9, guys. Does anyone else have anything else? Any closing remarks?
Plan 9.
I was just there's a lot of file footage in this.
There
that,
is.
That was low budget, and I think Ed Wood kind of did that for his style. But the aerial footage of DC, it was amazing, like how few buildings were there.
It's crazy how much things change so
Yeah.
quickly.
And just in 50,
Yeah.
60, 70 years here. Yeah.
It's not 50 years anymore, Spiff. That's just how old we're getting. Like 1993 was just 7 years ago.
Yeah, it's
okay.
It's
Shit.
gonna be 80.
Yeah.
It is 50 years. Yeah. Or 70
Crazy.
Years.
Yeah.
Anywho's,
All the
that's I
people
have to
making
say.
this film are dead, I would assume, right?
I would
In
imagine.
this film,
I would
yeah.
think so.
I would think so, yeah.
I mean, I watched
We're
I watched
70
stuff from the
years ago.
90s, and I'm like, that kid's fucking dead by now. It's so long ago. You know what I mean?
That kid from Sidekick with Chuck Norris, he's dead.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Really?
he killed himself, I think.
Oh, wow.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Jesus Christ, Biff. Way to bring down the show.
Yeah, it's serious. So dark.
Yeah, he had to get out before the next 4 years. Had to bring it back around.
All right, fair enough. All right.
All right.
AJ, would you recommend Plan 9 from Outer Space?
Yeah, I think I recommend it, especially if you want to go back and look at like some really fun old movies that were black and white. It was enjoyable. I had a fun time watching it. I laughed. Generally wasn't bored through the movie, so yeah.
Aaron.
Yeah, I recommend it. Especially if you like older science fiction-y horror movies of the 50s, 60s, that time frame. It's a pretty bad movie, but it's fun.
Rebecca.
Yeah, I think so. It's fun to kind of go back and see what they thought of as sci-fi horror and kind of compare that to ours today.
Vivi Van Fleet.
Yeah, no, it was a fun movie, and going off what Rebecca said there, it was also fun to see what people thought space was going to be like, because this was before any humans went into space, and before Sputnik
shit.
even. So yeah,
That's actually an
kinda
interesting
cool.
element. I never thought. I didn't realize. What year did we go into space?
When did
60?
Sputnik get launched? Like 59, and then
Okay.
Well,
John
then
Glenn was
61?
63,
Oh.
I think, and then moon landing 69. That was such a fast progression there from doing nothing to landing on the moon. But
Dude, imagine if we tried to do things like that nowadays. How we could do it if we just did it.
we could absolutely do it.
Yeah.
Just
do it.
NASA gets no money.
I mean, I guess the problem is now it's like, well, we did land stuff on Mars, but like anywhere else, it's just okay. We'll send it out, but it'll be 100,000 or 1,000 years until we could get to Alpha Centauri or something like that, right?
1,000 years at our current.
Well, what's how many?
But
light
I guess
years
it's
away
1,000
is,
light years away. So it would take
It's
like
not 1,000 though. It's
Wait,
But
no,
either way,
we're nowhere even near a light year.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But like
it's
anything
it's
of
like,
any actual interest
how far?
is too far away to actually matter.
Yeah, our furthest object is what? Voyager, one of the Voyager probes. And it's just basically out of the heliosphere, right? Like it's just outside of our solar system, kind of heading into
what 70?
Fucking Sam Neill takes that porno magazine, bends it in, pokes a fucking pencil through it, and that's how you
scoops
get the
his
Event
eyeballs
Horizon.
out.
And why the
then
fuck can't we do
space-time.
that? Why don't these smart people read that? Watch
That's
that
how they.
shit.
That's how they travel in Dune too. They
Because
bend
you need
space-time.
insane amount of energy to do
You
that.
need the spice, Chris. You need the spice.
Oh
Right.
god, the spice flows.
Which is why we're hiring the pillow guy for NASA.
Oh no! Don't give him any ideas.
get Trump Jr. on that. He's filled with kinds of spices.
He's got all kinds of
the
ideas.
white powdery spices.
Oh my
I'm
god.
talking about cocaine. Yeah. Did everyone recognize
Is that what you're
this?
talking about?
I do not. This was not. I wouldn't watch this nowadays unless you like old movies. It was too slow.
That's
It's kind
fair.
of boring for me. I don't
Yeah.
know. I didn't
Yeah.
even think it was that bad. Like, but
No,
I'm
it's
fine.
just it's not
the
a,
MTV
a
generation.
modern like yeah.
Attention spans.
If you're old like us, you might like it. Old like me.
All right, let's move on. Let's play a game. Here we go.
Game time, baby.
Your theories are the worst kind of problems, right? Your methods are sloppy and your conclusions are unpleasant. Shall we play?
Oh, that was jarring.
Oh,
All right, we
this
are
will be
gonna
fun.
This is
take a look at
depressing.
some prices from 1957 and feel really bad about ourselves. All right, so what was an average monthly rent?
Oh, the
in
housing prices
Oh,
are
Rebecca,
nuts.
I was thinking about
$20
moving, and I looked at an apartment building, and the prices started at $2,900 to $3,700.
Wow.
And I was like,
Uh,
what the
it's-
fuck is that? That's crazy.
$87.
Yeah,
average monthly rent.
$250.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 150.
$71.
What's that adjusted for inflation?
A lot less than 3.
It's like what you spend at McDonald's.
Yeah, that's a Happy Meal and a fucking Big Mac.
What year was this, Rebecca? 50,
1957.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
It's 785 today.
Yeah.
You can't get an apartment for that much. You can get a room maybe
Nope.
in somebody's
You-
house.
Yeah,
be
you
able
can. Yeah. How much was federal minimum wage in 1957?
It
Pretty
didn't
well done.
exist.
Didn't it actually?
No,
when
it
did
probably
that
did.
start?
$1.20.
$3.
79 cents.
$1.
Okay, so that is the
$1 an
equivalent of
hour.
what now? 11.23.
11.23.
So still way higher than what it is nowadays.
In Pennsylvania, it's 7.25 still.
Yeah, we're still
Yeah.
at federal. Yeah.
Yep.
I made more than that working at Burger King in high school.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I made like 9 something an hour in the late 90s.
I'm
How-
curious
how
who
can
actually
anybody-
gets paid minimum wage.
$2,900 a month for rent, but $7.25 an hour if
That's the
you're.
real estate speculation.
Ay,
How much was a postage stamp?
a nickel.
Okay.
They're
Speaking of
free.
things that no one buys anymore.
8 cents.
You couldn't lick them though because you die from poison.
The only time I buy stamps is for Christmas cards.
I
they
don't send
were
out Christmas cards. So there you go.
3 cents.
3 cents.
Wow, what a deal.
Wow.
Yeah. How much was a gallon of gas?
Oh,
14 cents.
10.
I like in this picture the milk.
It's a happy meal.
I want to say it was like 50 cents a gallon.
It is 31 cents a gallon.
Jesus.
Yeah, but you're probably getting like 8 miles a gallon.
That's
and,
that's equivalent of 3.48 now, so that's about the same.
About the same.
Yeah, that's.
Which shows you how much we.
Yeah, oil is cheap. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Trump's
Yeah.
making gas prices cheap again.
Yeah, of course he
They
is.
already are.
Exactly. They're cheap.
I just take credit for it.
How much would a new vinyl record cost you? This one's
Ooh.
In the 50s, that's like right when they started really getting popular.
14
I'm
cents.
gonna say it was actually a lot. I'm gonna say it's like $3.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say
Makes sense.
$3. Yeah, I'm going with that.
You can't go with $3. I went with $3.
Oh, if we get 2 records for $3.
yeah,
Damn.
$1.50.
Don't break the bank.
So you got to work for an hour and a half to get your record. How much was a one-night stay at the hospital?
Oh boy.
$7.
Free or something back then. I don't know.
That wasn't free.
They paid you to go to the hospital.
I don't want to do this one.
It's $20.
I'm at 14.
$30.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just paid.
No.
I just
For
paid
the night
$108
at the
for a
hospital.
strep test.
Yeah. So you're.
I had to pay $2,000 for the 5 minutes I was in a recovery room after my GI check.
Yeah. It's.
Yeah. And I bet you didn't get a
Literally, I
three-course
was in
meal,
there.
did you?
It was like 9 minutes. I was in there. $2,000.
The electric bill.
System's broken, man.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of $337
It's all the insurance fault too.
337. Yeah.
for one
That's
night
like-
in hospital.
If you have to get a Tylenol while you're there, that
Well,
costs
it's like
$337.
$15 a pill,
This is not making me feel better about anything,
How about
damn it.
annual tuition? Annual
Public
tuition.
university.
At a
Now it's
public
anal
university.
tuition.
Here we go. Here we go.
$300.
So the
200.
whole year.
Yeah. My dad mowed lawns for the parks
Yeah.
department over the summer and paid for tuition at a private college.
People did that in the 60s and 70s. Yeah.
I mean, that's
I'm going to say 120.
$200
yeah.
gets you a
Jesus
full
Christ.
What the fuck are we
year
doing? What
of
the fuck are we
college.
doing? This is so depressing.
Dude, state schools
I
are
know.
like
Why are you
20-some
depressing
thousand a
us?
year now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm depressed.
The 50s.
It's federal student loans.
Well, they made the money
col-
cheap and easy, and now
Yeah.
they just kept raising the.
Yeah. Colleges say,
Sucks.
oh, we can get from government money? Okay. That's 3 times as
Yeah,
expensive.
take on that student loan and then fuck
We're gonna
your life
build
over
more
completely.
pools. We're gonna build more of this. We're gonna build more of that.
people-
amenities
I-
and-
People taking on
still-
$180,000 of debt to make $50,000 a year. It's like fucking crazy.
yeah,
Oh, you know,
that's
college
crazy.
makes no sense.
Yeah, I'm still paying for E-Town, and then they have the audacity to send me
Oh, you get those
fundraising
alumni
emails.
fucking-
And I'm
course.
like, are you kidding me?
You
Can I
turned
have
40
some
and you're
of
still
those?
paying for it.
Yep.
How much do you owe still?
I don't even look at it. I
How much
just
more
keep-
time do you have to
Yeah.
Well, but that's
Too
part of the
much.
problem too, because a lot of people have been paying forever, but because of the interest on them,
They
Right.
don't really make any.
have not made a
progress.
dent in the actual. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah.
essentially a
It's just-
mortgage.
His interest out of control.
Which is why I dropped out of college and said, "Fuck all that."
I barely went to a college. I don't even know who it's. It was.
Chris is like, "I don't even know where I went."
I don't even have I have
Who
an
am I?
associate's degree. Anyways.
What do we
Alright.
tell our kids though? Like, what the fuck are they supposed to?
Mhm.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna get real great real soon.
Well, we'll see. See what, I mean, the next 4
College,
years.
no, college will be very different in the next 20 years.
Yeah, things
Yeah,
will
but,
change.
but I don't have 20 years.
And
until
most
my kids
small
are in
colleges
college.
are closing as it is. So.
But there's a lot of I think it's accelerating based on stats.
Things
I've
will
seen.
change.
Yes, they can't afford it anymore.
At some point,
They always
things will have
do.
to change. You know
They
what I mean?
always change.
But in the meantime,
Life finds a way.
Well, even
Bad
in the
movie night
government, like,
continues on.
aren't they working in some of the states to reduce the requirement of degrees for government workers?
Pennsylvania.
I think Pennsylvania specifically,
The big thing with Governor Shapiro.
Yeah.
Likes to shout about.
because it's
Because you don't
yeah.
need a degree to work in most jobs.
Mm-hmm.
This is
It's an
not a
easy way
political
to,
podcast.
sorry.
That's not political.
It absolutely is political.
No,
It is.
Yeah.
you guys sound like you're anti-education.
Well, let's see what Linda McMahon has to say about that.
Yeah, let's see what. Just pile driver.
I thought their plan was to shut down the Department of Education.
Well,
anyways.
this is just how you do it.
Well,
anyways.
You make it
political
so
podcast.
bad that everybody's like, "It's fucking terrible." Oh, we got to shut it down.
Well, we'll shut it.
That's been their game
federal
plan for the
really
last
doesn't
30
do
years.
much anyway.
could you imagine shutting down all the schools? Just do it. Just a switch. Just like.
You got to use your vouchers to go to Jesus class.
Right. Use
Chris,
that
get your
tax money
Moses
to
out.
Pay for.
That's how
I-
you're paying for public school.
I had a kid walk out of my class today because we were talking about early humans and he didn't believe in it.
You're joking.
So he got a 0, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nope. He gets to be.
You gotta stop
excused.
catering to that stupid shit. We should end this, Chris. This is bad.
Okay, you guys ready to move on?
Stop catering.
Read some listener feedback.
Stupid
Chris.
assholes.
Yes.
Okay.
Recent listener feedback, sir.
Make it so, number one.
Emails. You tiny little emails. You precious little emails. Where are you?
Last week we checked out Trucks, which I had seen on TV a long time ago. Even though I wasn't there last week. David Black. Mom, I want to watch Maximum Overdrive. Timmy, we have Maximum Overdrive at home. The alternate title, Timu Maximum Overdrive.
Oh, that's
Pretty
good.
Jinx. My huskies go with me because I don't trust anybody with their care.
What?
Huh?
I don't know. Did you guys talk about dogs?
Last week? Was I on last week?
You were on last week, Chris.
I don't remember a goddamn thing.
When did we talk about dogs?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Jinx is in the chat here. Maybe he can remind us.
Dogs.
No, he doesn't even remember leaving comments. Oh,
Sorry.
wait. Jinx also writes, did I hear griping about the witchcraft movies? Dishonor.
Yes.
Dishonor on you.
No.
Dishonor on your VCR.
No,
The
it
first
ruined my
3 or
life.
so were good. They were fun.
Yeah. Well, Jinx, have you watched all 16, soon to be 17 of them?
Yeah, Chris, how was pre-production coming on number 17?
No, he's doing 18.
Honestly, wish I should probably just make it. I should make one of those.
Just insert some scenes into Transient. It could be Witchcraft 7.
I mean, I just finished. I just have
It's
a rough draft for a new script that's just straight horror,
Okay.
Okay.
but it's not a witchcraft movie.
Well, just change the character.
Just turn it
names.
into one, Chris. It's not that hard.
I can't do that.
hard.
What is this? I'm
You
sorry.
can't sacrifice his art. Mike D. Chris is right. Every time we are on the road and there is a jerk, it's a truck.
Wait, what did
Plus,
you
they
say?
do not have a dimmer on the lights like everyone else.
What did you say? Chris is what?
Chris is right.
Chris is right.
No, he's never right.
He's left.
How many houses down are you, Chris?
I would say the jerks on the road are usually in Nissan Maximas.
Ultimas.
Well, Altimas too. They're basically
Ultimas
just
are usually
Nissan
like
drivers.
destroyed and sketchy. Camrys are always doing 42 miles underneath the speed limit and stopping
No,
on
that's
the
all
highway
the
merge
Maryland
lane.
drivers.
I'm generally driving like a raging asshole, going way too fast.
Yeah,
There I am with my cruise on 63.
it's always trucks.
63?
Trucks
It's a
for me are
55 zone.
Oh God, get him off the road! I'm gonna run you off the
Yeah.
road tomorrow.
the
I hit 85
the
on
new-
30.
Oh boy.
I used to
new
hit my daily
GTI
triple
Swift, They
digit.
don't even have a manual.
No, they got rid of it.
Yeah, they got rid
This
of the
last
manuals in the
year.
US. Yep.
Yeah, they don't sell. So
They sell to me. They're still real to me, damn it. That does it for our listener feedback, guys. We can talk more about trucks or traveling with dogs. I never traveled with our dog.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
I
what we
don't-
talked. It was part of the quiz.
Oh,
It
are
was
there
the
dogs in
percentage
the
of
movie?
people that
probably, too?
travel with their.
Oh, that's right. That makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
So Jinx, you said you didn't watch the witchcraft movies, so you need to take back your statement,
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
or you need to sit down right now and watch them all straight through, and report back Friday when you're done.
He'll be dead. Yeah. Yeah, we'd always put our dog in the kennel.
All right.
I'm gonna put you in a kennel.
So
You had a good
guys, we have a couple
It's a
options
good
here.
kennel. Yeah.
I'm not going to do a wheel
Okay.
because next week's Thanksgiving, right?
Oh, yeah.
Next week is Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
Well,
So
that's a good
there's a
point.
couple
after is
Thanksgiving movies we could try and watch. There's one called
Then-
Hostile Takeover from 1988,
Hostile takeover.
which is a Thanksgiving movie. A man takes 3 coworkers hostage while working overtime on Thanksgiving weekend. He has no demands. It stars
no
David
demands?
Warner and Michael Ironside.
I'm watching that. That sounds great.
Yeah,
Sides. All right.
It
Go
might
no
be a
further.
legit movie. I don't know.
I don't care. Let's
all
watch
right.
it.
I couldn't really find a trailer. I could find the full movie on YouTube, but no trailer. But I guess we could check out clips of it. Do you just want to do that then?
Skip around.
Again, it might be too good of a movie, but whatever.
I don't care, Chris. We've earned that.
You need to purchase the witchcraft movies on Blu-ray.
The box set.
What is it?
Police guys. Okay.
Is it hostile takeover?
Grab that fucking jelly rolls.
Oh, there's Ironsides.
Oh, man.
He's got a sweater on.
Oh, look at
Dave, we're doing
Ironside's
this
chair.
Will you answer me? Will you talk to me?
I miss those old metal office chairs. Oh, he's got a gun.
Okay, Michael Ironside's wheeling around on a chair. David Warner with a machine gun.
Come on!
Very skinny Michael Ironside for the time. Yeah, he's
that guy looks like
got a leather jacket
or something. Is that Ironsides? His sweater's off.
There's what's his face?
That's David Warner.
Yes, David Warner.
He's got the secret of the ooze.
That's right. He was in that. Forgot.
Yeah, I don't know.
We should watch Secret of the Ooze.
Okay, the verdict is castration.
That's all right. End it right there.
We're watching this. This is amazing. I have no idea what this is about.
I don't know. That's what we're watching next week. Hostile Takeover from 1988.
What does that have to do with Thanksgiving?
It looks
takes
like
place on
might be
Thanksgiving.
A one room.
He's forced to work
during.
during. Yeah.
It says a psychological thriller about a shy, mild-mannered businessman who single-handedly launches a terrifying assault on his company, armed with guns and explosives, and taking 3 co-workers hostages. David Warner soon becomes embroiled in a deadly confrontation with the police. Stating no motive for his actions and making no demands, he keeps the suspense at a fever pitch as the police race against time to free the hostages in this riveting thriller drama.
Riveting.
Sounds real.
Scott, we're going to need you to come
We're
into
check
work
it out,
on
guys.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday?
Yep.
I mean, the other option I was going to say is we could watch Amityville Thanksgiving.
No, fuck you. No. I'm not watching Amityville movies. No.
Only if you watch the sequel, because that's the one with the killer turkey.
The other one was Home Sweet Home from 1980, which actually probably looks like it fits more with the show, but whatever.
Sweet home.
We can stick with this. The other one was The Stepfather, too, says it was from 1987, was a Thanksgiving movie. That one.
We can't skip straight to the second one.
No, it was.
What happened in the first one?
No. The Stepfather movie. But I don't know if that's actually a Thanksgiving movie. It came up with this list, but whatever. Guys, just watch Hostile Takeover. We'll see what the frick happens. I don't know. It's available on YouTube. Just search for Hostile Takeover and it comes up. That's it. That's it for this week's episode. Spiv, thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you guys. It's been about a month and a half or 2.
Yeah. So we'll see you in another month and a half. Are you going to come back next weekend? Next week?
I might see you next year. Yeah.
Next week we are doing it on Thanksgiving Eve.
We're doing it on Thanksgiving, and at 7 again. 7 is very early. We should talk about this.
I might actually next week I could probably do 7:45.
Okay, even like 7:30 would be helpful for me. So.
I think next week I could do that, so we can talk, but we'll see. All right, guys.
So none of us are showing up next week. Is basically.
I mean, I'll be here. I know. I'll be here. I know AJ will be here. I know Rebecca will be here. I don't know about the rest of you people.
I mean, you keep up with that attitude, calling us you people, and I might not be here.
What do you mean, you people?
Yeah, don't call me you people.
Home Sweet Home was the one you watched last year, and it was awful. We watched that last year.
We didn't watch that.
You know, I remember singing the song. So.
I don't remember that at all.
We did not watch that. There's no way.
Movie.
Okay, whatever.
No, Google it.
I believe Sean.
No,
he's
I don't.
probably right.
I think he's right.
guys.
He probably is.
No, he's definitely right. That's gonna do it.
Hold on. Bad movie night, Home Sweet Home. We did not watch that.
A young married couple comes
is it on YouTube?
Their prison in their own house with a methodical killer inside.
Oh, yeah, I
Is
think
it
we
that
did.
one?
God damn it. 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
What?
6
Wait,
years.
really?
It does sound familiar.
I'm not seeing.
No,
this
that's a
on
different movie, though.
That is a
Deranged
different movie?
PCP addict ruins a family's Thanksgiving.
No, we don't have a video.
Oh, wait,
for
that's
Home Sweet
that's
Home.
the other bad
No, we
movie. That's
didn't
not us.
watch
Oh,
That's a
wait, no.
different
It's
channel.
1981's Home Sweet Home.
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
It's a different movie.
It's a different movie, Sean.
I was talking about 1980s Home Sweet Home. Maybe it goes by a different name. I don't know. We didn't.
Also known as a slasher in the
A
house.
forgotten Thanksgiving slasher. Oh, I remember that one.
What?
Why did we not have it on the channel?
It has that
That was
bodybuilder,
pre-movie.
Jake.
That was a different
video.
movie. Yeah, that's a different
That's-
movie, though.
I don't
It's
know.
called
wasn't-
Home
it
Sweet
was-
Home.
Yeah, it was Body by Jake, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's a different movie than what we just saw.
Yeah,
Sean says it was so bad there was no episode.
Yeah, Home Sweet Home
remember
is
this.
not a Hostile Takeover.
Did we not do an episode on it?
It was last year, and we did it, but then someone lost the recording or something. What was that?
Were we live?
We definitely watched it and
Shit.
talked about it.
I
though.
thought you guys were
Yeah.
talking about Hostile Takeover. I'm like, wait, what? No, we didn't watch.
Yeah, it's got Body by Jake, and he goes, yeah. There's the kid who plays the guitar,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and
This
there's
was
the
in-
Yeah.
chase in the house
Yeah,
and over the
it was a
night.
terrible
Yeah,
movie.
It was bad.
Yes,
Remember that
it
We
was
couldn't
really
even
bad.
talk about it. We just said the hell with this. We're not doing this
I
podcast.
think that is what happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is a very bad movie night Thanksgiving? Oh, yeah.
What?
It's a live stream that's 2.5 hours long. It says, join us live as we talk about random stuff, engage with listeners, and maybe talk a little about this horrible movie, Home Sweet Home from 1981.
That's right.
That's what
all
it
coming
just
back.
became a random episode.
Yeah.
Is that out there?
How does Sean
So bad that we
remember
couldn't-
this
we
shit?
didn't even want to talk about it. That was last year.
It was just last year.
That was last
Well,
year?
Wow.
Yeah.
Last year, yeah.
That feels.
The year before
a
we
long
watched that
time
bad
ago.
like Pilgrim's Tubi movie.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
because I
That's
made Blood
right.
and
That's right.
Butter song.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sean says he was
Cover.
on that episode with us. Okay. I don't remember any of this.
Yeah, I remember that because Sean showed us his
Yeah.
movie
Oh,
collection.
Yeah.
We interviewed him.
Oh, my
about
God.
He's like, I don't want to be on for real long. And we had him on for like 2 hours. So it was awesome.
Dude, so we had AJ, Aaron, Lindsay, Ian, JD Buffington, Spiv, Sean, and Stefan.
Wow.
Did we?
That was a full
How
cast.
about we
It
do
was
this
just
for
like,
next week? We
yeah.
just watched that video together.
That's very
Relive it.
meta.
It
pretty
was
meta.
never published.
We could do the TikTok thing, and we
crazy.
could just all be in the corner, like nodding as
Yeah.
it plays, and pointing up occasionally. Yeah.
That's so stupid.
It is so
We should
bizarre.
publish that,
This
though.
is
Why
so
can't we not
weird
publish
that
that?
I never.
Just
it's not
publish that
published.
instead.
Publish it.
There's like AI images of Vince Neil and shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I want to
don't
watch
know.
that,
I don't
actually. That
remember
sounds
any of
funny.
this.
Wow.
We should ask Sean, though. Sean, are you okay if we publish that? Since you were part of a big part of that.
I'm not gonna.
He doesn't get to
I don't know
decide.
what this is. We don't even know what we said. We don't want to publish that. And it's 2.5 hours long. I'm not watching that shit.
Nobody
Anyways,
will. It
guys,
doesn't matter.
that's
We
true.
need- we
Nobody
need an
will
auto
watch it.
transcript.
Why does that matter, Chris?
True. All right.
And if they do become a Patreon, you're
we're
going to
done.
ignore them until they quit anyways.
Come
then
on,
you're gonna
guys, let me
complain.
in there.
Yeah.
For just $2 a month, fuck yourself.
AJ needs to
You
manage
get to
the
talk to us on the Slack if Chris remembers.
AJ needs to manage the Patreon.
We'll bring you on.
Give me
we'll bring
the
you on an
access,
episode,
dude.
And,
Give me
and
the
then we'll never
access.
publish
I've
it.
given you so much access.
Jesus
I've
Christ.
given it all, and it's never enough.
I'll
for
just
you.
hook up my email so I get notifications. It's not
That's
that
a good
fucking
idea.
Sean, I
hard.
will make it a Patreon video. All right, guys, that's it. I don't know where we're still doing this shit. All right, we're done. We're done talking. It's over. This is over. Okay?
It's never over, Chris.
We're gonna move on with our lives. Next week we'll be back to watch Hostile Takeover. Join
No, we
us
won't.
then for our special Thanksgiving extravaganza, as they say on stuff. Guys, catch you here next time. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to the Bad Movie Night Podcast.
Bad movie night.